So in this video, I will be covering the sun, moon, and stars, and the moon in particular, the hollow moon. In it, I will be including two videos from my Clapper account that was posted in 2023. Never mind the watermarks, because that's how Clapper is, at least a watermark. I believe this image is from the Great Awakening chart. And I circle hollow honeycomb moon because it is honeycomb. Remember this movie? I believe it's Kong. I never saw the whole movie. I just watched the intro because the Ruach led me to. So Kong smashes the firmament. And when he smashes it, you can see that it is honeycomb underneath. You see, honeycomb. That's why the Vatican has so many bee motifs, because he's the keeper of the beehive. And the government Freemason. And Beyonce, too. You might want to get out of her covenant, her witch's covenant. The moon is just a reflection of the planet Earth, 100%. The scripture says that the earth is reserved for fire. And I believe when it starts to burn up, that's when the moon is going to start to reflect red, because it's a reflection, the blood moon. And it tells you when everything's said and done, the heavens will see like a scroll being rolled up, and every mountain and island was removed from its place. And in the New Jerusalem, no need for the sun and moon or stars anymore. The city does not need the sun or moon to shine on it, for the glory of Yah gives its light, and the Lamb is its lamp. Then Jah commanded, let there be a dome to divide the water, and to keep it in two separate places, and it was done. So Jah made a dome, and it separated the waters under it from the waters above it. He named the dome sky. So we're under the firmament, which is the first heaven, and it divides us from the waters of the second heaven, where the darkness is. A darkness that can be felt. I covered the second heaven before. And that is what CERN is doing. They're trying to capture antimatter. Then Yah commanded, let lights appear in the sky to separate the day from the night, to show the time when the day, the years, and religious festivals begin. They will shine in the sky to give light to the earth. And it was done. So Jah made two larger lights, the sun to rule over the day, and the moon to rule over the night. He also made the stars. So as you can see, this is prior to Noah's flood. And this is prior to the fall of the watchers. Do not be tempted to worship and serve what you see in the sky, the sun, the moon, and the stars. So we're not to worship them. So the video that I posted on Clapper, the guy goes on to explain that the moon was destroyed during the flood, the original moon. And the one that we have in place right now is an artificial moon, just like the chart says. I know some people be like, how is that possible? Well, China just created an artificial moon. And a sun. And remember, they work with the fallen. They're working with all the knowledge of the cosmos. That's why it's possible. And people have been posting for some time now the two suns in the sky. And haven't you noticed that one looks orange like it used to, and it should, and the other one looks like a flashlight, like a light. And this woman, when she was driving, she saw one on one side, and this is the one on the opposite side. Doesn't it look like a flashlight? Some people will tell you it's hollow. Some people will say it's a hologram. Others will say it's made out of plasma. Whatever it is, it's not the original moon. When you look at the moon, it also shows you the other land masses that go beyond the ice wall. This is the reason that the scripture reads, the sun should not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night.
What? What? What was that? You guys. I got that. I got that.
is empty. You can see on the new moon, you can see a ring, and there's black, and you can see it's a hole. Clearly, it's a hole. You go through it.
The moon is not a piece of rock, but it is a plasma phenomenon, cosmic plasma, and that this fact will eventually be confirmed. I made certain predictions which were already confirmed in 1958. If the moon is a plasma, no man will ever land on it. Soft landing attempts will all fail.
But the Americans and Russians are thinking of landing men on it.
Oh, well, that will never happen. Will never happen.
Oh, you're telling me there's no moon there?
There is. There is.
It's not a solid object. Is that what? Is that? I mean,
Not solid as we know solid. It's a more attenuated transcendental material. Atoms can act differently when they're in a different dimension. It's transcendental. What you are seeing there is the dance of the gods. The moon, the sun. These are gods. They are gods. They are archangels. The Jews, they'll tell you in Kabbalah. They'll tell you the moon is Raphael, Mercury is Gabriel, etc. The sun is Michael.
I need y'all to share this video to anyone that doesn't want to believe we're in the middle of a spiritual war and how everything is designed to deceive us. I'm about to prove that we're in a black hole and closed system, which is fueled by our energy. And most people call this a matrix because the enemies are manipulating our energy by creating an environment that appears real. Yo, check it. Explain why there's shadows casting upwards off of their artificial clouds they're trying to make in order to hide the rainbow reflecting off the Skynet, which is also called the firmament and is also the EMF. This says United States Patent Office, illumination system including virtual light source. And towards the bottom, it has the patents in the United States and Great Britain. This is a memo of announcement of NASA-owned U.S. patents in STAR. Here's some illustrations. They are harvesting energy from the real sun in order to make this work and to keep us alive and produce more energy. If it's starting to look like a reflective light bulb to you, it's probably because it is. This is what we've been always seeing throughout our whole lifetime. Just different versions. When people say they notice a difference or seeing multiple suns.
To me. Back in 1947, a flying saucer crashed. We back engineered the parts of it, and today it's a giant neurological web over the whole Earth, where everything people read, learn, all the information, everything our Earth has offers on this giant nervous system that goes to every single household and business all over the whole Earth. Extraterrestrials are monitoring our every move. We're gonna die.
I don't get it either.
How am I just seeing
Put it back.
circle?
How are we seeing the shadow of the tree from the flashlight when it's the sky behind the tree? And why is there a stop point at the end of my flashlight when it's pointed at the sky? Why isn't it going on farther? Don't cuss.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't make any sense.
The earth was our domain, so the watchers or the elders will travel back and forth. They were not supposed to reside within our realm. That was before the fall. There was the fall of Lucifer and then the fall of the watchers. They wanted to take for themselves wives of the Son of Man. And they did, and they created Nephilims. I posted a portion of this video on my page, or you could go to YouTube and watch a full video. In it, he explains how the moon was their habitat, and in fact how they found fossils of dinosaurs similar to the ones on Earth on the surface of the moon. But Jah destroyed the moon with asteroids, and he flooded our world at the same time. And what we have before us now is a hollow artificial moon. Someone posted this comment, and he's absolutely right. The Anunnakis created the moon, the artificial moon, not the first moon. Jah destroyed the first moon. You see, the Anunnakis are Nephilim, and they created 8 people, but they did not create the original man. What they created are humanoids. As you see right there, Nana, moon god. The Great Awakening chart. Moon artificially placed into the Earth orbit. Dark side of the moon, it has ET bases, Draco, reptilians, and Nordic and Greys. And what's underneath moon? Mohammed Treaty. I created in past teachings that all religions lead to Rome. The Vatican created Islam. And it's not to offend anybody, it's just to let you guys know. Religion is man-made and it's mind control. I myself grew up in the Catholic Church and I had to accept the reality. I had to repent and close all these altars and covenants. I studied the word and I let the Ruach lead me. For Joshua is the truth, the light, and the way. What do you think that the flag has the crimson moon and she's birthing the star? And I'm going to show for you a couple of clips that it shows how the moon is hollow. Hollow honeycomb moon. Not only are you going to see that the moon is hollow, but it's also honeycomb inside. Like it tells you right here. So if the moon is artificial, how does it give its light? I'm also going to play for you a portion of this video. This Freemason shows you how the black sun lights the moon at night.
Which was to crash things into the moon and measure their impact with seismometers. The idea being, if you smash a known mass into the lunar surface, that allows you to understand exactly the seismic data that you're seeing.
After the astronauts had safely left the moon's surface, they intentionally sent their ascent stage module, which they no longer needed, crashing into the moon.
When Apollo 12 sent its lunar module ascent stage hurtling into the moon, it hit. And the scientists on Earth saw the seismic data. But it didn't do what anyone was expecting. The signal seemed to be going back and forth inside the moon, almost like it was a bell that was ringing. And it went on for an hour, and no one has been able to understand why.
The moon rang like a bell.
Some people thought that might mean the moon is hollow.
The moon basically resonated, and to put it the way NASA put it, it rang like a bell, which doesn't really make any sense if the moon is solid. Now, this can only happen if there were vast empty spaces inside the moon, where these sound waves would be bouncing around for hours and hours afterwards. It was not a result they expected. So it's possible what we're looking at here is that there are interior portions of the moon which are hollowed out.
Did the Apollo 12 mission actually reveal that the moon is hollow?
It was a CD or a disc. He immediately draws the geometric shape of an oblate spheroid. He draws a circle with a swastika inside and immediately paints it completely black. This black circle rays come out and 3 rays pass through the hole in the center. He draws reliefs on the edge of the hole and writes North Pole, or Polaris. He draws 2 lines that go down from the polar star to the 2 points. The lines form a triangle. He highlights 2 of the rays coming out of the black sun and also forms a triangle, but vice versa. And he writes, as above so below. It's one of the 7 principles of Hermes Trismegistus. He erases the intersections and draws the sun and moon.
I have a picture of one of the aliens been working for the United States Pentagon for the last 58 years. His name is Val Valiant Thor. He's right here. There's my father in the background. This whole place, the ready room of the USS Eldridge, Al Bielek has probably explained, or maybe even shown you this picture. There's a list of some of the notable people in it. They're all the atomic bomb scientists of the day, all the time variant experimentalists of the day, all the top physicists of that particular day. This was in August of 1943. Now this guy has not changed one iota in 58 years. Started work, he came here, crashed here or whatever, whether he's under duress or not. He started work for our U.S. Navy and military operations in 1937, either 37 or 38 is what I've been told. So it's, for 58 years, this man's been employed, probably under duress. If you don't do as we say, we're just going to use you for alien bait or something, I don't know. But anyway, he basically hasn't changed. He lives for 490 years, is what he says his lifespan is. Now, he's supposedly a semi-benevolent, he's a human-looking type person. He has 6 fingers and 6 toes, and he's got one oversized heart, one lung, giant lung. His blood vessels are bigger. He's got copper oxide for blood, similar to an octopus. His brain capacity, 300 centimeters greater than ours. He has a thinking capacity, IQ, if you were to measure it, be totally off the scale, it'd be about a 1200 IQ. He speaks 100 languages fluently, alien as well as others. He's a remarkable person. I had a chance to meet him one time.
So we are aware that there were human-angel hybrids, the Nephilim of history, right? The demigods of mythology, ancient Greek and Roman lore, et cetera, and then what was before the flood. These unnatural creatures that were taller typically than humans and that were often worshipped, presumably, as gods, that brought about a lot of violence on the earth, leading God to judge the earth in Noah's flood, okay? Being wiped out in the flood, these human-angel hybrids, these creatures came about as the result of some of the fallen angels going into human women and impregnating them unnaturally. And these women gave birth to hybrids, chimeric hybrids, part angel, part human. We know all that from the biblical account, okay? What we don't know is how that relates to the dinosaurs, and I'll say we, that doesn't mean me. What most Christians have not understood or known is how that relates to the dinosaurs or what these creatures did beyond Earth. Okay, we know today that there's all this talk of quote unquote aliens, right? And those who say they're witnesses to them say they encountered corporeal beings like greys or quote unquote reptoids or these kinds of things, humanoids, often abducted, taken in actual anti-gravity craft like flying saucers, this kind of thing, to be impregnated. That's often in the accounts, and to have the children taken, these unnatural children taken from them before birth. Okay, there's no where they come from, and they do exist, and we do have that technology also. We've had the ability to do interstellar travel now for several decades. Humans do, and it's been acquired from humanoids who are working behind the scenes with militaries, including our own, to prepare for Armageddon.
Okay, when you say interstellar,
beyond our solar system, between star systems.
I see.
Faster than light travel. Light was never a barrier to travel, in fact, in terms of speed. But that being said, and we've had the physics and the technology to do this for a long time now, but we initially got it from these humanoids. Now, the humanoids, you might think, well, are they Nephilim? Are they like the ones wiped out in the flood? And in reality, most of them are not. They've been genetically engineered from life on Earth as chimeras, part human and partially other creatures on Earth, okay? To fool mankind into thinking that aliens are real. Like the greys, like reptoids, the ones that people report encountering when they're abducted. Okay, those who remember their abductions in hypnotherapy sessions and things like that, and often without hypnotherapy these days, they remember what happened to them at some point. And they recount these things, and their stories are eerily similar. All these people who've never met each other around the world.
Armstrong taking that historic first step and becoming the first man to walk on the moon. Yes, Timmy?
Who shot that?
What?
Who shot that footage?
What do you mean?
Well, if Neil Armstrong was the first man on the moon, then who's holding the camera?
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Well,
Who's out there with the camera?
No, I know what you're asking. I'm just...
Very fine-grained as you get close to it. It's almost like a powder.
Could have been like a tripod, or... No, that's not.
Thinking, what if Elon Musk shot that SpaceX rocket in the sky to show us that the firmament does exist? Check this out. Watch. Hit the firmament. And just like how boats and jet skis leave a trail, which is known as a wake behind the jet ski or a boat, it's doing the same shit here. That should hit the firmament. It literally looks like a trail of water. This is what I mean. This is called a wake. It looked like the same shit, right? Here go another example. See? And this is called the three-story universe, where it speaks of a firmament, and then above the firmament is the ocean of heavens, and above that is the heaven of heavens. So above our firmament is water. We're encased in water. That's exactly why I said this rocket looked like it hit the firmament and left a trail behind it. And it actually makes sense when you understand the three-story universe and how there's water above our firmament. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this in the comments.
Launched the most powerful rocket in the world for the first time before it disappeared. So yesterday, the two-stage rocket ship blasted off from its Starbase launch site near Boca Chica in Texas here. A few minutes later, mission controls say they lost contact with the vehicle. This morning, we're learning that the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration is opening an investigation to help them figure out what exactly happened.
Alexa, does the firmament touch the earth?
From wikipedia.org. The firmament is said to be made of solid ice occupying the space between the earth and the first heaven.
Alexa, can anyone get through the firmament?
From substack.com. NASA used high-altitude explosives to try and penetrate the firmament, and what they filmed of the operation was the result of their explosives creating massive watery wave propagation above them as they hit the quasi-vitreous dome above the Earth known as the firmament.
Alexa, is anyone able to get to space from going through the firmament?
No one is able to reach space by going through the firmament. The firmament is considered to be a barrier that has never been penetrated by humans, not even in science fiction or NASA's outer space movies.
Thank you.
I'm from outer space, I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gone, I've been far away, I'm illuminated now, make a move, start a waves. I've been breathing around fire for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they wanna go find. I'm officially intelligent away, I'm your future, past and present, I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a listening of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sing, I just flow. I don't need gravity, I just need roll. When I move, it's in a quick rumble. I won't ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble. When I
by the name of Big Daddy Vio 1037 on Facebook captured something really strange during the solar eclipse that happened recently. Check this out.
Hey, what's up, guys? So, please don't think I'm crazy. I promise you I'm not. Well, not totally crazy anyway. So, it's currently 3:05 in the morning, and scrolling through other people's videos, ADD. And I was watching videos of the eclipse, and I saw this.
Emotional right now.
Oh, there we go.
Did you see that? I'm gonna zoom in, and I'm gonna play it again. What was that? I'm gonna zoom in more and slow it down this time. What was that? If it was a solar flare, why did it come straight out of the moon? Why does it look like a window opening up? And why is there smoke coming out? Again, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep. Maybe I'm crazy, but that looked really weird. And I'm searching up and I don't see anybody talking about it, like nobody saw it.
A man that goes